Year's Eve is celebrated worldwide, and this happens in different ways depending on the culture. However, I want to focus on the general New Year's Eve celebration and a Jewish celebration that doesn't necessarily happen on December 31st. The name is Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is the Jewish New Year, and the name means head of the year in Hebrew. This is the beginning of a 10-day time of reflection that ends with another celebration named Yom Kippur. Something important about Rosh Hashanah is that it doesn't have a fixed day, but it happens between the months of September and October in our calendar. It can vary every year depending on the Jewish calendar. During Rosh Hashanah, people pray and gather in synagogues, practice rituals like tashlik. They go to a body of water like a river or lake to clean their bodies and clothes as a symbol of cleansing. People also consume apples dipped in honey as a symbol of hope for a sweet year. And they also eat pomegranates as a symbol of abundance. Rosh Hashanah is a time for serious reflection, unlike New Year's Eve in most parts of the Western world. In the Western world, New Year's Eve is celebrated in different ways, but the most common one is party. In many cultures, this is time for reflection, family, and love, but in others, this is a moment to celebrate life in ways that don't actually reflect an appreciation for it. Fireworks, music, and dancing, food, and in most cases alcohol, represent how most people celebrate New Year's Eve. It's sad that sometimes we abuse certain drugs when we celebrate, and we expose ourselves and other people. These are some examples of how New Year's Eve is celebrated around the world. China. In China, people celebrate Chinese New Year with family gatherings, fireworks, and more. They celebrate it between January 21st and February 20th. Japan. In Japan, Oshogatsu is the Japanese New Year. People see this as time for quiet and reflective celebrations. Families like to clean their houses and make traditional food like ozoni, soup with rice cakes. And the last example I have for you is Scotland. In Scotland, people celebrate with fireworks. They share gifts, like in Christmas, and gifts are symbolic gifts, like whiskey and bread. New Year's Eve hasn't always been celebrated in the same way. The earliest recorded New Year celebration can be traced back to ancient Mesopotamia, 4,000 years ago, what we know now as Iraq. People celebrated a festival named Akitu. It had religious rituals, parades, and they chose a new king. In ancient Rome, people celebrated with feasts, gifts, and processions, which was quite similar to medieval Europe. Calendars are man-made, and it's interesting how societies, families, and individuals have accepted and adopted the idea of time. New Year's Eve is just an example of something we do as part of what societies have imposed in the way we perceive life.